Good morning, everyone. It's another day of working on the truck. Haven't filmed anything for a while because it's been pouring rain and stormy here in Washington, and I've been trying to work underneath tarps and do what I can to keep moving forward, and it has sucked, so I have not bothered videoing it. So today's a catch-up day. I've been working on the headache rack for the truck. It is getting to look pretty good. My welds are continuing to improve on the looks. I got a little more to do on this side, coming up the corners to get my 3 passes. I have 1 pass on each one. I've got a couple more top welds that need a last pass, and then I can grind it all down, paint this side, and then we're flipping it over so we can get to the other side. Flipping it's going to be fun. I'm guessing this thing's now weighing close to 400 pounds. It was heavy when it was just the outer frame, so not really sure how I'm flipping this yet. That is one of those yet to be determined things, as I have nowhere to hoist or support it. So I may try to recruit a couple people to steady it while I go around to the other side. I'll deal with that when I come to it. Cross that bridge when I come to it. Anyway, that's where I'm at, and I will keep you guys apprised as we go forward. Okay, this side is done. At least welding, grinding, rough painting. I did a test grind on the inside of a corner to see what it would come out like, and I like the outcome. So I'll be doing all those at some point, but not today. I want to get it flipped so I can get the underside welded. This side's not welded at all. I don't know if that shows, but I've got to weld that other side up. Then I can come back and start cleaning a bunch of this up, look at how I'm mitering my corners, what I'm doing with all that. But for right now, this side's done. I'm letting the paint dry for a few minutes, and we're going to recruit some help, try to flip it, and start on the other side. Well, that's it for now, and I will keep you updated as we move forward. Okay, it's been a good day today. I got the top side done, painted, ground, painted. Got it flipped over, got this side painted, or got this side welded. I'm tired, but it's been a good day. So rain's supposed to come back in tomorrow for a couple days, and then it's going to get nice for a while. I'm good with this. From here I can grind it and then paint it. So I'll put a tarp over it for a day or two, and we'll go from there. Still got to figure out what I'm going to do for mitering the corners, but they're on this end where I can get to them. So that's doable. Yeah, that was a good day. My test corner came out okay. I'm happy with it. And it's not perfect. It's got a few spots in it, but it will work for what I want to do. I should be able to clean all these up that way and make them look beautiful. If I have to, I can touch that a little bit. Flare it out. We'll see what it needs. I might do that anyway, but not today. Alright, so time to cover it up. Time to call it a day. Got to go get groceries, get dinner, do laundry tonight. Day's not over yet, but it's been a good day. So for me, it'll probably be several days. For you, it'll be a blink of an eye, and then we'll be on this again. Hey everyone, it's been several days since you've seen me. Weather has been crud. It has rained. Everything's been under tarps. Haven't been able to do much. So finally got the rain to quit about 6 o'clock tonight. So I got out here and got started back on it. I got the welding done under tarps during the rain. I got my corners mitered tonight. I'll stop and pick up the plate for capping it on the way home tomorrow. Very happy with how the miters came out. They came out clean. My welds, seeing them through the cut, look really good. So far, I am really happy with how everything's looking. It could be a little superficial touch-up here and there, just to make it super clean, but I mean, other than that, it's like if you look here, there's some real minor little pitting left in the weld line, but nothing that's structural, but it'll show in the paint. Yeah. Don't know if I'm worried about that. Again, there's a couple little ones right here. But again, everything's looking really good. And that's the cab side, so that side you're not going to see anyway. I'm going to try to get in and grind all these and make them concave, I guess it would be. I did a test one somewhere when the other side was up. Not sure where that's at. Oh, here it is. So you can kind of see the idea. I haven't done the top in here yet. I'll have to round that out. But that's my thought for what I'm going to do in the corners. Make them look nice and clean. At least where they're visible. So 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 by 4, so 24 corners to clean up. That'll take a little time. I may get tired of it before I get done. I may quit and only do some of them. Maybe I'll just do the top ones. Not do the bottom side. Who knows? Time will tell as we get to it how much energy I have after work and how time goes for what we're trying to do. We're trying to get off to a camping trip and take the truck. So right now it's just an open back frame. Hitch is still on the ground, or back on the ground. Still on the ground, I guess. I have metal ordered for plating. We were hoping we'd have it by Friday, but it doesn't look that way. So we'll see what happens on that, if we get it in time to get the hitch in and get that done, or if we try to improvise something. I really don't want to drill. This is all nice and clean, no holes. I really don't want to drill anything until I know, have the hole for the hitch drilled. So, we'll see. Not certain exactly how I want to do that, what I want to do. I left me room at the back for whatever I want to do there. I think I'm going to cut the front pieces back off. I'm just not liking how they're sitting and what they're doing. I think it's the frame rail, but I think I still want them flat. I don't want to level them and have them not sitting hard on the rail. Still got to think on that and chew on that some more. But I think if I were to tip them and straighten them up, then I would have to shim that bed rail to have good contact on the frame. I don't really want to do that. I'd rather leave that a little crooked. I don't know. I'm trying to get in, look at what that does with my angles. Here it's pretty flat. I need to get a piece put back on up front, get something in there, and really see what it looks like right in here where it's going to bolt down. And once I know what that's doing, then I can determine what I want to do on those much better. And all that, I got to get that headache rack off of them so I can move them around and work with them. So that's where I'm at. It's another night. I'm going to quit for tonight. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more welds to grind tomorrow night. To get this side flat, get this welded and capped. Almost out of welding gas. I'm down to about 300 pounds of gas in the tank. So here in the next night or two after work, I'm going to have to go figure out where I can go exchange tanks and get gas. But I cannot complain. It is looking very good to me. I'm very, very pleased with it. And I'm rambling, so it's an update. It's a night. I'm tired. I've been tired. Feel like I'm working 2 jobs. So shut this off for tonight, and we'll see where I'm at when I get back to you. Hopefully we'll have all those welds done, or maybe I'll change course and I don't know. Maybe we'll go get welding gas or something tomorrow and do those welds another night. Time will tell. Talk to you likely tomorrow night. Okay, picked up my steel on the way home tonight for capping these corners. I think it lays in there pretty clean. That one looks really good. This one, I'm still trying to decide. The shadowing makes it hard to... I think it's pretty even too, though. I think that looks good enough to weld, so we're going to start welding it up. Okay, well, I got the caps welded on. I've started doing my grind to clean them up. So we got a little more to do here, I think. That's got a little bit of an out tick to it. But all in all, they look clean. I added to the inside corner here, so when I grind it, it's got something to flare out because it was a little small for that. But I think it's looking good. I'm definitely going to flip it one more time. I didn't think I was, but now that I'm starting to get to where I am here, I think I'm going to flip it one more time. I'm just not going to be able to round these bottoms upside down. I don't have the skill for that. So we'll get this side all done, finished up, done. Spin it, flip it. Do the touch up on the other side. Get it all painted. That'll have both sides painted, because I'll paint this side before I flip it. And then I'll finish painting it from the other side, let that dry, and then put it up against the truck. I've thought about what I'm doing on the rails. I am definitely going to cut those off and start over. So I ordered 2 new pieces of steel. Not a big deal. They're just little 17-inch pieces. I'll keep them. I'll use them for something somewhere. So, yeah, it's coming together. It's looking good. It's getting there. A lot of grinding and sanding to do to get it finished, but we'll get there a little at a time, slowly. Just keep plugging away. Big one to me was getting the caps on and the miters on, because I wanted the mitered corners. I think those are going to look good. Okay, well that's it for tonight. And so when I come home from work tomorrow, I think I'm going to buy welding gas. Then come home and do some more grinding. I'm down to about 150 pounds of gas left in the welding tank. I'm surprised it was still welding. So, anyway, that's where I'm at. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Well, it's finally a decent Saturday working on the truck. About time that I had some decent weather on the weekend to work with. Although it's going to get around 90 today, so it's going to get warm later. Took yesterday off because I had to get welding gas because I ran out, and stayed late at work to get caught up on some stuff I was behind on. Got done with that. By the time I got home and got welding gas and got back, it was like 7:30 last night, so we made dinner and just took the night off and relaxed. So this morning I got up, I touched up some welds that need a little more work. And then once it got late enough that I wasn't disturbing the neighbors, I fired up the grinder. I've got all the top joints ground now. And I'm starting to work on my corners. So all these corners are going to radius out inside. There. I've got 3 done. Lot to go. But should look really good when it's all done. We'll get this side done. The goal is to try to have this side fully ground today. Get all the mill scale stripped on the sides, on the top, and then get it painted and let it sit for the night and dry and harden. And then tomorrow flip it over, do the finishing edge rounding on the other side, any cleanup that I need to do. I decided to wait on these edges here until it's flipped over because it'll just be a whole lot easier when it's on top. But all in all, everything's coming out looking good. My welding is improving. I can't talk. The beads that I laid down this morning looked awesome. Nice and clean and straight, and not having the sun glaring into the back of my helmet does help considerably though. And it was still fairly early. But yeah, there's a little bit of shrinkage in the middle. It's flat on the other side, and so either the 2 pieces aren't exactly the same height, or there's a little bit of shrinkage from the heat. But it's clean and flat. It's straight. This side goes to the cab, so I'm not as worried about that. We were originally looking at high gloss paint, but seeing the little bit of weave that's in here with high gloss, that'll show. So I've decided to go with a satin that will make it a little cleaner. And then when the bed's all done and we have it professionally painted, we can have some body work done on that, any of that needs to be done to clean it up and make it look good. We're talking a 32nd of an inch, if that. You can barely feel it running your hand across it. A little bit right in there. But yeah, that's not much. So should be easy for a body shop to fill when they're going to paint. Anyway, that's where we're at for the moment. I'll check in a couple times through the day as I go on and keep you informed. And we'll go from there. Okay, update. I got this side final sanded. You probably can't see much. I got a canopy today so that I could put it over it, keep the pitch and from the fir trees and the sun off me and the pitch off of what I'm working on. And got all the mill scale stripped on this side and the edges, and got this painted for the side that goes up against the truck. I'm sure you can't see much. I'll do more in the daylight, but I wanted to catch you guys up. Went with a satin black, and so far, from what I can see from the flashlight, seems to have come out really well. So I am delighted, at least for tonight. We'll see how that carries over in the daylight. I ran out of light about an hour ago, but with raw steel, I had to get the paint on it. So once I started, I was pretty well committed. Anyway, that's where we're at for tonight, and I will bring you back in the morning and give you a first view just like I'll get. So have a good night, and I'll snap my fingers and it'll be morning. Okay, it's morning. You guys are getting first look right along with me. I haven't even had my coffee yet this morning. So here it is. Here is the headache rack. The back side, truck side, fully painted. I think we'll do a little more cleanup on the other side. I can see a few spots here that a little rough. Could use a little finer grit, but all in all, Wow. This came out nice. And I think overnight I figured out how I'm going to flip it. So I'm going to see if a buddy's got some line called mule tape, which he probably does. It's used for pulling fiber optics. And he doesn't live too far south of here, and if he's got a piece, I think I'm going to run down and get some, tie it off to the cab, bring it back, slide this back to the bumper, or to the fenders, because it won't go past it. Then I'll lift it until it's almost vertical, tie the mule tape to it to hold it, walk around, and then tip it toward me, toward the truck, and so that'll be my hold for flipping it. That should work. Anyway, first look, we'll get it flipped today, and we'll go from there. We'll keep moving forward. Goal is to have this done today and up against the truck. Okay, I got this flipped, came up with a plan overnight, started sanding my corners. See that I have some runs in the paint that I couldn't see in the dark last night, and frankly, I didn't see them this morning until I flipped it over. So we'll paint this side. It will not be in the dark. But outside corners are mostly done. I'm happy with them. I like them. I'm going to get a palm sander where I can clean these up a little better. Take this down to a finer grit, I think, for the top and sides and everything. I've got to get in and grind these corners on this side. So there's 24 of those to do. And then I'll get a palm sander and some sandpaper. I don't know, maybe I'll take it down to 400 grit or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm a lot more comfortable with a palm sander than a grinder for trying to roll these edges and make them clean and nice. And so we'll see where we end up. But that's where we're at so far. I'll keep you apprised as I move on. Well, Mary just asked a question, which may have put some brakes on what I'm doing. She looked at the headache rack and looked at the truck, and she asked, isn't that going to conflict with these pieces and hit? And I came up and looked at them and measured, and my answer was yes. I looked at these, made sure they had clearance for them. I never did look down here. So we have a conflict issue with the headache rack and the outside of the fairings there. So one possibility is we could remove those pieces. Or the other possibility is we could end up cutting and notching the headache rack to clear them. In the words of Matt's Off-Road Recovery, we really don't know what we're doing, but we'll figure it out. So as we move forward, we will keep you guys informed on what we decide and show you what we do. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to sanding my corners. I got 8 left, my inside corners, and cleaning this up, and then I'll turn my attention to that. Okay, looked it over, thought things over. We're doing a combination. So we notched the corner, cut a piece out, welded plate back in so it has strength. And then that will allow it to clear this piece. Use a different finger. This one, I'm going to take it off the truck. I'm going to cut it down this line. I'm going to cut it across here. And then I'm going to weld probably 1/8 by 1 or 1/8 by 1.5 inches across and across this way vertically to create a stiffener on that. And I think that will give me what I need, hopefully. So that's the plan. I still got to pull these off the truck, and hopefully all the bolts come out okay. Haven't got to that yet because I really don't want to try to weld it on the truck. But we'll see what we can do. Anyway, got that. We got this modified on both ends. Welded back up. I got to do some sanding, clean it up. And then we're back to doing some finish work and painting again. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. We're plugging through. The continuing saga of the truck build. So we've got the headache rack finished sanded for the steel and primered on the side that counts that you're going to see. Read the can on the paint and it says do not dry sand for at least 4 hours. So I got time to kill. So we are turning our attention to something else. And when plan A doesn't work, you start over or do something different. So these were crooked. They weren't going to work the way I had them. So I've cut the first one off. And we're going to clean it up. And then we're going to cut the other one off. I've been waiting several weeks to try to get pieces fabricated to go on here for flanges, which does not seem to, I haven't even got the CAD drawings for approval yet, and I'm running out of time. So we are going to move it back. We're going to start here and come back to here. And we'll put the flange here, and then I'll do a vertical 1.5 by 4-inch channel up here to probably right here. I'm thinking, I don't know. We'll see where it goes in here, because I've got the jackalope up there that I kind of have to avoid. But we'll put, yeah, this might be a good spot right here on each side to come down and hold. Anyway, so this is what I'm working on. We've had some rain here, which is why I've got some rust in here, but I'm actually impressed with what I'm seeing on the welds. The welds look good. They were solid. Took some cutting to get them off. Anyway, still got a couple hours before I can do any sanding on the headache rack. We've got a conflict that Mary had found, I think I told you guys about. So I pulled these diagonal pieces out. We're going to refabricate those so that they'll clear. We've notched the headache rack to clear these pieces. So we're making progress. We're going forward. Working on lots of little things. We got the spider removed. Got the head, that spoiler, I guess you would call it, back into its factory hole. Got the flags off the back for now, so that we're ready to move the headache rack up against the truck. And then I'm going to rework on these and redo them. I already ordered new pieces. I kind of had a gut feeling I was going to be doing this, so I think I'm going to clean this side all up and probably primer it, paint it, flip them over. That way the painted side is down against the frame rail, so I'm not having rust issues. Because once I build this, I am not going to be able to pick this thing up to do anything to paint underneath it. So paint it beforehand. And then if I need to clean something for welding, I can do that. But going forward, making progress. Figuring it out as we go. So, alright, figured it was time for an update. So there you are. Well, this is where I'm at. Falling further and further behind schedule. I really wanted to have this headache rack up on the truck, up against the cab this weekend, but that just isn't going to happen. A lot of work on trying to do a finish paint job on this thing. And mixed feelings on it, because I still got to go back and grind things down and weld and add, so I'm not sure what I'm doing here on that. I don't really want to leave it just primered, because then I got to try to mask off the truck to paint so that I'm not overspray all over the truck. So we'll see what goes on there. I got the front pieces cut off, sanded down, so they're back to where I started. ready for me to work on. Taking some measurements. This is coming out very clean on the sides. So kind of up in the air on what I want to do on the post. I really want to get the headache rack off of it so I can move these back up into position and work on seeing how they sit so that I can make sure those posts are vertical the way I want them. I got to get my parts back. I got to get this channel installed. So that'll probably be tomorrow after work. I'll go down and pick those parts back up and get them back. So we'll see where we end up on that. But making progress, just not as fast as I'd like it to be. We've got all our stuff that at some point I got to figure out how I'm putting it all back on the truck, because I won't have be able to put the decking up here where we carried the scooter and all that. So I kind of have a feeling I'm going to have to build some form of a deck on this so that I can strap things down on it. We'll see where we end up there, but starting to feel behind the game. We'll see how it goes. I think if I can get this headache rack done and get it against the truck and ready so that I can work on other things, then I'll feel better. Because there's so many things here I need to be working on and I can't because this thing's got me tied up. And it's coming out really nice. I'm delighted with how it looks. I'm delighted how it's going. I just don't like the time it's taking. But I got the spoiler put back to its original position. Bang is now down on the fender for the moment. I've got these pieces off so that I can modify them. Taking my time thinking about what I want to do and how I want to modify them. Toolbox is off the truck. It'll probably end up getting re-drilled and mounted back here somewhere. Somehow. I'm not quite sure how. I'll have to figure that out. Lots of things to work on. We may end up shortening this and redoing this bar so that it'll fit underneath the flange back here. That's a possibility. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it. It's all doable, but it's all work. And the weeks are ticking away. So, yeah, we'll get there. For now, I'm just going to take a break. Decompress a little bit. Breathe. Something I don't do well. I don't sit well. So. Alright. That's your update for the moment. Once I figure out what I'm doing with the other stuff, I'll give you another one. Okay, well, here's where we're at. I think it's a weekend, so I'm going to wrap it up with this for now. We got Fang off the truck. We got the spoiler back into the factory setting so it'll clear the headache rack. We kind of figured out I think I got figured out how I'm going to set up the posts for the structure and what I'm going to do, but I'm still thinking about it. Fang is on the truck. Brush is still out here. Headache rack is sanded and primered. It'll sit till tomorrow. I'll probably sand it out and start painting it tomorrow. We notched it to clear for the plastic pieces on the lower corners, the dress trim. The upper pieces I think would have hit, so we took them off, we cut them, we modified them. I still got to clean them up and paint them, but we redid the support on them so that they should go clear. The fairing, or the headache rack, same thing on this one. That one came out a lot cleaner than this one, but all in all, I'm happy with both of them. Just got to clean them up and paint them. Won't be tonight. I'm packing it up for tonight, because it's almost dark. And that's what we got done for a weekend. So we will put this together. You guys can't even see me. All right, we'll turn this way. There we go. Now you can see me. So we'll wrap it up with this. We'll put it together, and next video we'll see if we get the headache rack done and on the truck, or where we end up with it. Still not sure what route I'm going to go. I don't really want to paint it up against the cab because I don't want overspray on the cab, but I don't really want to paint it either because I've got to sand it all back down to weld it onto that whole lower section's got to get sanded. All the way across here's got to get stripped. All the way down here on both of these have to be stripped to weld it to the structure. So we'll see where that ends up. Anyway, well, with that, it's a wrap. We're out. Everybody have a great night, and we will see you next time.